have been filming this over 2 days, so do with that as you wish. Hey everyone, it's Kelsey. This is Essentially Book. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. And today we're going to talk about going to Aurilium. So Aurilium is a readathon that is month-long. It's hosted by Book Roast and it takes place the whole month of April. It is one of my very favorite read-alongs because you essentially create a character of your own and you go to school. It's kind of like Hogwarts, but better. G from Book Roast, like, it's amazing the universe she's created. This has gone on for years. And I really have only gotten into it in the last year, but you pick a major essentially or something you want to be. I've decided to be a Feywild cartographer. And then she says what you need to do to pass your classes. You need to take so many classes, and then each of those classes are an assigned reading prompt. She also has quests. It's like so much fun. I'll link everything below so that you know what I'm talking about. But the syllabus, I've printed it out. I've decided what books I'm going to read. As always, I'm focusing on NetGalleys and Book of the Months this year to really get those numbers down. And so that's pretty much what is reflected in here, but everything had to be books that I owned in general for me to decide what I'm reading. I need to take 7 classes to pass the spring equinox session, and I'm pretty excited about it. So we will go through my TBR now and chat. All right, so the very first class I need to pass is Alchemy, and the course's focus this semester is on transmutation circles. So the reading prompt is there has to be a circle on the cover. And for that, I have picked The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. This is, I believe, an Aladdin retelling. I've heard that it's really good. I have not heard bad things about this book. I just need to get to it, and it's a book of the month. It was a June 2022 book of the month. I believe the newest book is coming out soon, if it has not come out already. I don't know if it's going to be a duology or a trilogy, but it is. The CNC trilogy, this is book 1. So there will be 3 books, and it is an Orbit book, which Orbit fantasies tend to work for me. So I am very excited about this, and to read, it does have, there's a circle on there, so it works. The next one is Animal Studies, and that course focus is pebble ducks. I didn't pay attention, so I don't know what that means when G was talking about it, but the reading prompt is a yellow title, and the book I am going to read, it's one of my oldest books for Book of the Month, I believe, 2017, Emma in the Night by Wendy Walker. I know that this book came out with like some pretty high praise, and I've heard Wendy Walker is a really great author. I do have another one of her books through Libro FM that I have not read. I know very little, which I think is how I need to go into thrillers. One night, 15-year-old Cass and her 17-year-old sister Emma disappear. The family's car is found deserted at a nearby beach, but the authorities are baffled by what could have become of them. 3 years later, with just the clothes on her back and no evidence or credibility, Cass returns home without her sister. Her tale is one of kidnapping and isolation in the mysterious island where the two were held. The story has holes, and so forensic psychologist Dr. Abby Winter doesn't think these add up. As an expert in narcissistic personality disorders, she looks deeply into Cass's family to uncover the truth. So it looks like it might have a bit of a psychological thriller going on to it. And not usually the highest things I rate, but again, it's an old book of the month. I don't know why past Kelsey picked so many thrillers, but here we are. I must deal with it. Okay, and then the next prompt is Astronomy, and the class we are taking is Constellations 3, and the reading prompt is a zodiac recommendation. I'm a Sagittarius, and so I just went and Googled books that are recommended for Sagittariuses and actually pulled a book from my Pingo shelf that I was trying to sell to read. So this is a book recommended by Sagittarius. I'll put the little thing right here of me scrolling. But the book I am choosing is Wandering in Strange Lands by Morgan Jenkins. And this is about, it's a memoir. She recreates her ancestors' journeys across America during the movement known as the Great Migration, following the routes they took from Georgia and South Carolina to Louisiana, Oklahoma, and California in search of a better life. She seeks to understand not only her own past, but also the lineage of an entire group of people who have been displaced, disenfranchised, and disrespected through American history. I tend to really like memoirs. I actually don't know why I decided to unhaul this, but okay. So I will be reading Wandering in Strange Lands by Morgan Jenkins as my astronomy pick. The next one is Demonology. The class I will be taking is Pacts and Contracts, and the prompt is a book you did not pay for. This will be my mood read for the month, give or take. And I'm just going to do a NetGalley book. I have no idea what I'm going to choose yet, but I will probably try to stick with fantasy because we're like in a fantastical school. That just sounds really fun for me. So that will be to be determined. I will be vlogging throughout the month. You'll see that when we get to it. Elemental Studies is the next class I need to take, and the course focus is lightning. So the reading prompt is Source of Light on the cover. Went through all my book of the months, and there were a couple I could choose, but I ultimately ended up choosing Marrying the Ketchups by Jennifer Close, because there's light bulbs on the cover. From what I know, it's a comedy of manners about 3 generations of a Chicago restaurant family and the deep fried, beer battered, cream cheese frosted love that feeds it all. So it takes place in a restaurant, which is usually something I adore, and it's a family series. Okay, here are the 3 things the Sullivan family knows to be true. The Chicago Cubs will always be the underdogs. Historical progress is inevitable, and their grandfather Bud, founder of J.P. Sullivan's, will always make the best burgers in Oak Park. But when, over the course of 3 strange months, the Cubs win the World Series, Trump is elected president, and Bud drops dead, suddenly everyone in the family finds themselves doubting all they hold dear. This sounds like so many things that I love in a book, and I'm so excited to read it. I purposely have not read that description yet. I have anticipated that this would be a 5-star prediction for me in the past, which is why I bought it. It's gotten really great reviews. Had never read the blurb, and so that has like everything in it that I love. I'm very excited for this. All right, the next class I need to take is Inscription. The practical course focus is typography. And so for this, you had to write down 3 titles, fold it, then pick one. So we'll cut to that video. Okay, so it's for Inscription and the class is typography, and you had to write down essentially 3 titles and then draw one. So I just did a random number generator, which is why I did these numbers. Okay, so quickly, because I'm gonna film the bulk of this video tomorrow, but I just needed to do this quick. So I'm assigning these numbers for proof for my class. This sign here is going to be number 1, Queen of Thieves is going to be number 2, and Behold the Dreamers is going to be number 3. So I'm going to do a random number generator, and then we will decide what book I'm reading. And the number I got was 3, so Behold the Dreamers by Imbola Mbu is going to be the book that I read for this. This is an old book of the month too, so it's good. 2016 is when I grabbed this one. So this will be a great one to get off my book of the month shelf. This is about a Cameroonian immigrant living in Harlem that has come to the United States to provide a better life for himself, his wife, and their 6-year-old son. In the fall of 2007, he can hardly believe his luck when he lands a job as a chauffeur for Clark Edwards, a senior executive at Lehman Brothers. But then this takes place throughout the financial crisis of 2008. Lehman Brothers, problematic. Again, something that's right up my alley. I'm pretty pumped about it. This is a 2016 book of the month book, so also one of my older book of the months. That's pretty exciting as far as getting old book of the months off my shelf and trying to read through my book of the month. The final class I need to take to pass is shapeshifting, and the course will be focusing on mimics. And so this topic is read from an author who blurbed your last 5-star read. So the last 5-star read I had at the time of this filming is Alice Hoffman's Magic Lessons. And so I went online, searched a bunch of stuff to find blurbs, and found some stuff. And again, the rule was it had to be something that I wanted to read. Even more so is things that are on my TBR cart. These are kind of my priority reads for the season. I am choosing, finally, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I have read the first 2 books in the Grishaverse, like Shadow and Bone and then the one after it. I haven't read anything else. This is Dark Academia. I have the sequel, Hellbent. I've been meaning to get to this, so now is the perfect time. It really fits with the theme of Aurilium, being in like a school of magic, all of that. So that is the last book. There are some side quests. There's going to be other things that will go on that I could potentially add more books to. But for now, this is a good start for my month of April for reading, and I am very, very excited. Aurilium is truly so much fun. I recommend participating. Just the thought that goes into it from G is truly impressive. And forget which guild I am in even. Holy cow. I need to go find that. Okay, so had to go find it. My calling is the Feywild cartographer, but I'm in the guild of Order of the Crescent, and my name is Aurelia because that's like a play on a name I had in French class in high school, and I just think it's very pretty. I am an urban person. I'm a novice, still trying to build up my points, and I am a elf, and I'm from Eartheria. I'm probably saying that wrong. So yeah, that is it. I still need to figure out what my familiar is. I need to look into that and build my character a little bit more, but that is my Aurilium reading list. And until the next video, everybody, bye.